Dude, this is so bad. It's just like, you really have to try hard to think this is funny. I will never understand that. Like, if you think Steven Crowder is funny, if you've ever laughed at Steven Crowder, like not laughed at him, but with Steven Crowder, you might kind of be unsalvageable.
Last night, 60 Minutes, a news magazine program.
The best.
It's different from a news show.
Is it really?
It's a news magazine program.
News magazine program.
I apologize. Program.
It had Andy, what's his name on, right? Rooney.
Andy Rooney?
Wasn't he on there?
I have no idea. The Facebook whistleblower was Frances Haugen yesterday, and this is the new Facebook whistleblower. And let's look at what she had to say on 60 Minutes.
Frances Haugen told us she was recruited by Facebook in 2019. She says she agreed to take the job only if she could work against misinformation.
Red flag one.
She had lost a friend to online conspiracy theories.
What?
Complaints
What does that mean? Stop drinking tap water?
Shows that it amplifies hate, misinformation, and political unrest.
He started accusing,
he
started chastising frogs for being homosexual.
Says evidence shows that the company is lying to the public about making significant progress against hate, violence, and misinformation.
Hate, violence, misinformation.
When we live in an information environment that is full of angry, hateful, polarizing content,
Predator
it
took off his
erodes
mask.
our civic trust.
Can you turn around so I can finish?
It erodes our ability to want to.
It's just brilliant commentary, dude. Brilliant commentary from people saying like, I want to jerk off to her, but I can't because she's unattractive. Meanwhile, you look like this, dude. Like, what are you saying? Do you even... Like, it's so fucking corny, dude. It's like weaponized misog... I can't believe that I'm saying this because, like, I make misogynistic jokes from time to time. I make it ironically. People still get mad at me, okay? I make edgy jokes from time to time as well. People still get mad at me. It's one thing. But this is literally like, you couldn't come up with anything clever, so you're just like, oh, that's a woman, so she's I'm trying to jerk off to her. Like, it's coming from a place where you're not even trying to make a joke, you're just trying to be hateful. You know what I mean? Like, it's the equivalent of like seeing a black person and then like making, I don't know, like a fried chicken joke or something. Like, you literally just saw a woman and that's why you're like, yeah, I'm trying to jerk off, but she's ugly, so she needs to turn around. Bitch, casting stones from a glass house, okay? There's never been a single point in your entire life where you've been even remotely fuckable. I would just personally not do that. I would personally not fucking joke about that shit.
The version of Facebook that exists today is tearing our societies apart and causing ethnic violence.
Like, she's like significantly more attractive to a larger audience than whatever this fucking gremlin is, dude. That's the funniest part about this is like, she's so unattractive. I can't even jerk off to her face, dude.
They told us we're dissolving civic integrity. Like, they basically said, oh, good, we made it through the election. There wasn't riots. We can get rid of civic integrity.
No, there were plenty of riots before the election. What are you talking about? It was Black Lives Matter.
And
Peaceful
when they
protests.
got rid of civic integrity, it was the moment where I was like, I don't trust that they're willing to actually invest what needs to be invested to keep Facebook from being dangerous.
Now, to keep Facebook from being dangerous, be aware of what she's saying. It's dangerous if people are allowed to spread misinformation. Well, what's misinformation?
Please read my last message, please.
Yep, that was something. You're not allowed to suggest that originally, right when they said there would be 2 million deaths in America, you weren't allowed to suggest that that would be incorrect. When they said that masks don't work, don't wear masks, you were not allowed to say, actually, that's not true if used in the appropriate hospital setting. And of course, now you're not allowed to say, actually, masks may not be as effective if not used in their appropriate hospital setting with these certain set of guidelines. In those cases, of course, masks are appropriate and masks can work if you follow the guidelines that we've always had for masks. I've got to be very, very careful.
Very careful.
Otherwise, it could be misinformation.
I know.
When you had people saying it was a mortality rate in the general population of 4%. You couldn't say, actually, these doctors say that it is significantly more comparable to, let's just say, less deadly viruses or diseases than one that might kill you at 4% getting into.
What? Dude. This is fucking, like, he's consistently been wrong from start to finish on everything COVID related. And he's still, like, other conservatives at the very least, like, move on from the original misinformation. Steven Crowder's like, nah, I'm bringing that shit back.
You couldn't say, actually, these doctors say that it is significantly more comparable to, let's just say, less deadly viruses or diseases than one that might kill you at 4%, getting into borderline polio territory. That's misinformation.
700,000 people have died, dude. 730,000 almost have died since the beginning of COVID. There is no other way to account for the additional deaths that have occurred over the course of the past year and a half. Okay? Nothing. And that's in America, by the way. It's just so strange to constantly fucking bring this concept back up and act like, fucking doctors are still doing something like strange and suspicious about COVID numbers still.
Let's be really, really clear when she says we want to get misinformation and I lost a friend to misinformation, and they continually recite rules like hate speech. If anyone uses the term hate speech, this is someone who believes in an authoritarian government. Hate speech is not a thing. It does not exist. It is not real. It is an all-encompassing term that allows someone to determine what is too offensive to be spoken. See Australia. See Canada, where comedians and pastors get jailed.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Hate speech is not a thing? What the fuck? No, it's definitely a thing. The pastor was a rapist? Wait, what is this? I love when they fucking make this shit up. Hold on. A Canadian pastor has been jailed over pandemic violations. Alberta police on Monday arrested Pastor Tim Stevens for violating public health codes. Guidelines restrict worship gatherings to 1/3 building capacity, but Fairview shifted services outside. Officers told Stevens they were arresting him for holding an outdoor service that exceeded size limits. Okay, good. They didn't arrest him for fucking hate speech. They arrested him for violating COVID restrictions. Can't say the N-word, authoritarianism. I mean, it's pretty funny. Like, he is basically admitting that.
And people never ask that second question. It's like, oh, well, it sounds good to get rid of disinformation and hate speech.
Sure.
It's like, okay, we'll define it. No, one, nobody can. And two, it will always change because it is not definable. It just depends on who is making the judgment call at this. And we just talked about somebody on Twitter fact-checking an obituary. It's like, okay, come on, guys. Are you the same people telling me on Facebook that this is hate speech? Really?
Yeah, this is what's going on right now in this country. So let's compare that, by the way. What was the coverage of the James O'Keefe whistleblower from Project Veritas? That didn't get a 60-minute special. I wonder if it could be maybe for. Can we roll that clip?
Facebook uses
Kevin J. Johnson has been sentenced to 18 months behind bars for publicly branding Mohammed Faqih, a terrorist and a baby killer, after being ordered to stop defaming the Paramount Fine Foods owner 2 years ago.
That's why I watched the HasanAbi on the company's
Bro,
time.
What do you want to do with this guy? Like, that's not even fucking just hate speech. That guy's in jail for good reason. He's like defaming someone over and over again. That's just like targeted harassment, invoking like racial tropes, trying to get fucking people to go do some shit like that. You don't go in a cage for that. You 100% should. Was not being sentenced for his political views, but for 6 separate acts of contempt against court. There's like 11 different laws that this dude is violating before going to jail for contempt of court, by the way. Like stalking, defamation, libel, trying to fucking gear up an entire crowd against someone, like aggravating an entire group of individuals against a particular person by defaming them too. Like, that's insane. What a freak, dude. I'm glad that this motherfucker's going to jail. Like, what a dumbass, not showing up to fucking court.
classifiers in their algorithms to determine certain content to be what they call vaccine hesitant, or they call it vaccine
his mistake is he brought
without
receipts.
the user's knowledge. They assign a score to these comments that's called the VH score, the vaccine hesitancy score. And based on that score, will demote or leave the comment alone, depending on the content within the comment.
What's your read on this?
The borderline vaccine framework, shocking stories, potentially or actually true events or facts that can raise safety concerns.
And by the way, we've run afoul of this on YouTube.
Of course.
In the past, where they go, even if you quote the CDC, but it may craft a narrative that might cause vaccine hesitancy.
Bro, it's like they're quoting the CDC and then lying about the quote. Like, you can absolutely fucking use real facts and apply statistical analysis in an inappropriate way in an effort to fucking, garner anti-vax, you just get fucking people to be anti-vax, like, and create vaccine hesitancy. The fuck? Republicans do it all the goddamn time. What a fucking stupid thing. You think Crowder has ironically used a 13% meme? Yeah, he does it all the time. What do you mean?
They reserve the right to, it used to be there were community guidelines and there were advertiser-friendly guidelines. Then they created, some in the industry refer to it as a Crowder rule, borderline content. Sorry.
You screwed it up for everybody. Way to go.
Dang it.
Screwed up for everybody by providing references and sources.
It's true.
That's the problem, is when they can't get around. Hold on a second. You're providing references and sources to PubMed. You're providing them to liberal sites. And again, all references available today at louderwithcrowder.com. If we can use New York Times or Fox News, we'll use the New York Times. If we can use an objective resource, that's what we use first. And they say, well, you did use these sources, but it may cause vaccine hesitancy. So disappear you go.
What 13% meme? 1350 claiming falsely that 13% of the population, black people, are responsible for 50% of the crime in this country is a false representation of a data set that doesn't even fucking work. They're looking at FBI crime statistics and claiming that they're actually, relevant in the conversation. For example, the overwhelming majority of fucking crimes are committed by men, okay? Overwhelming majority of pedophile crimes are committed by white men, but you don't fucking advocate to, mass surveil and jail all men or over police and jail all white men, okay? It doesn't work that way. Whereas when you do the 1350 meme, you're literally using that as a way to defend a police state or a police operating as an occupying force in black communities. You don't do that. That's it's racist as fuck. Not only that, but it's a misrepresentation of the actual data. The actual data set is talking about arrest rates, okay, not conviction rates. So they're looking at the racial demographics of arrests. I wonder why black people get arrested more frequently than fucking white people do. That's crazy. Well, here's a real data. Let me just explain a real data point to you. For example, white people and black people consume drugs like marijuana, for example, at the exact same rate, okay? At the exact same rate, and yet black people are arrested for that same offense 4 times. Black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for the consumption of marijuana. I wonder why. Now, you can turn around and be like, you just saying data is racist. No, I'm actually looking at the appropriate contextual analysis behind the data that you're using to do racist agitative propaganda. Okay? They also sell it exactly the same rate too. Yes. Data is not racist. But you can be a racist and then use data to say racist things. I wonder how fucking stupid someone has to be to believe that any business has the manpower to analyze every comment by 1.5 billion users for their content to assign scores to. These comments like that? Yeah, it's so stupid.
Your story doesn't matter anymore.
And this lady wants that.
No! Oh, what the fuck? This is nuts, dude. Oh, this is so good. This is so fucking good. This is we've reached it. There is nothing better. I have to tweet this out.